there's a shirt.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
there's a new shirt.
Go buy that shirt right now.
I didn't even know there was a new shirt until like 1 minute ago. Look at that thing. The Joker. What does it say?
It says Joker. And it says za 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 XA.
Okay.
It's all Cyrillic.
Oh, it's all Cyrillic. There we go.
Absolutely love it.
Look at this beautiful thing. Another reason for you to become a DNVR member. You subscribe, you get that shirt for free, and then you get access to all of our great content.
Yo, listen.
I'm
ready.
You know you're feeling the vibes right now. Like, this is what sports are all about, man. We had that low in game one. We sweated one out in game two, got a comfy win down the stretch, but this one, my God, the Austin Rivers game. Have a moment, Austin Rivers.
Whomst amongst us could have seen this coming?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Are you going to take a victory lap or not?
I put that in the round table. You didn't read my shit. I put it in there. I said that Austin Rivers is going to have a game where he scores
We let him in the round table and he
table?
nails it.
Yeah.
We let him in the round table and he just nails the prediction.
Holy shit, this is wild.
Look at this.
You said Austin Rivers. So
That man's a bucket.
what's up, everybody? Welcome into the Winners Lounge. Woo! Are you guys spent? What the hell here? You guys spent?
We're off our game, dude. We've been
That game was like
We've been screaming for hours.
I almost lost my voice.
I'm telling you guys, there it is. There's the horn. Like, that was like the most delayed horn ever. Hey, play it again, Cal. Keep playing it. My God. Let me introduce the panel real quick because I'm already lost. Harrison Wynn.
Dude, this was just like everything you want in a playoff game. This had everything. The bar, the drama, the guy coming out of nowhere to be the hero.
Unbelievable.
The MVP, like, it's had everything, man. It's had everything.
I love it. Our guy, Sir Sketch, loves Austin Rivers so much, he super chatted us. I don't know if we're
Austin
supposed to give
Rivers
that
super
to
chatted?
Austin Rivers, no, but or we're supposed to. Over here we got D-Line Co, the man making the shirts.
guys. I feel great.
Oh, man.
What a night. We were talking about this. This is like why you watch games in February. This is why you suffer through consecutive losses to the Kings
Yeah. Okay.
early in the year. You declare every Nuggets is good. You look like an idiot moments later. And look at us. Here we are. The chickens are coming home to roost, baby. Let's go.
And rounding out the show, Superstar Dev.
You want to talk about the best? We have the best show. We have the best bar. We have the best fans. We have the best shirts.
God, we got the best team.
We have the best player in the league.
We got the best 10-day contract
We
guy.
have the best 10-day contract.
Dude.
The best coach. We have the best everything.
My God, all we do
vibes
is
are
win.
immaculate.
The vibes are indeed immaculate, guys. We're presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. How'd we do tonight, Dev?
We did our thing.
We did our thing. We did our thing. We did our thing like we
We
always
needed
do.
a little drama for the Jokic double-double to hit, but it hit.
This shows you how much I put on the line here. I never even check if I won because I forget, and my memory's so terrible. But guys, I'm telling you, before we even get to this incredible game, all-timer, and it's a game that has a name, the Austin Rivers game. Like, I love it when a game has a game. This was the Austin Rivers game. We got it. But before we get there, I'm telling you, obviously, this bar, we talk about it a lot, but we reached a new level. I can't wait to see what the new high is, but this was the high.
I wanted to get emotional tonight because this is what we
You
always
missed it.
This is what we always envision, man. This is what we always envision.
Yo, but you hear that?
What?
Consider the source, man. Harrison Wynn.
Even kill, pragmatic win.
Dude.
Emotional.
Like, this is what
Emotional.
it should have been like last playoffs.
Yeah.
Now it's here, and like, we got people standing up for 4 hours straight in the aisles because all the tables are filled an hour plus before tip, and it's beautiful.
You get the video?
What's up?
No, super chat. I just bought 2 of the new shirts for people in the bar tonight.
Oh,
Wow.
shit. I love it. We're going to have to do it for people in the bar. That is awesome. That's a great super chat.
Man, thank
That's a
you.
great super
James,
chat. I love that
James,
one.
you're our guy.
James is our guy. So we're going to have, everybody left. That's the one thing about having this awesome bar on a weeknight is that everybody had to go home and work. So like the bar, honestly, 200 plus people here tonight. Everybody just vibing, just jumping up and down. It was insane. And they're all gone. But it was awesome. And I'm glad you got to see it because you've been at the arena and that's been fun and everything.
has.
But this is your baby, and to get to see it tonight, man.
The chants, just the jumping around.
The
like,
chance started an hour and a half before tip.
Just the joy, man. So
the
much
joy.
joy in this building
There
tonight.
was a lot of joy,
So
man.
much joy.
Yeah, I'm glad that you guys said that because, like, that was my whole thing, the whole takeaway. It was, like, nice to see everybody that's been a part of this whole journey excited. Then everybody that was just got brought on to this journey, they've been excited. And for it to come together was amazing. And for me to be a part of it now is pretty cool.
Man, it was something special. This was something special, man. Proud of the whole squad. But more importantly, I'm proud of the Denver Nuggets because, we talk about it all the time. We these guys we're caping for him so hard. And it's like, don't make us look like idiots. Tonight, man, they didn't. Tonight, that was a team to be proud of.
We looked like geniuses.
There were interesting adjustments that we're going to talk about in this game, namely from Portland. And I thought Denver handled all of those adjustments swimmingly.
Yep.
And then down the stretch, it just became I thought everybody was so tired. I mean, Jokic maybe the most tired, but Lillard was tired too. And it became a battle of wills where it was like, who's going to come up and make the plays? And it turned out it was Austin Rivers.
Here's my thing about Austin Rivers. Like, I'm a big believer in karma. I'm a big believer in karma, and good things happen to good people. Austin Rivers got humbled by this whole season. He was on the Knicks. He got released. He was without a team.
Guys didn't want – people don't know this, but I've been told, like, they could have gone to Milwaukee. They said, no, don't bring him in here. We don't want – like, he was a true nugget in that he was rejected by everyone else.
Yep. He signs a 10-day. He does everything possible to fit in, totally buys into the role, totally buys into the culture, and has his moment eventually. And, like, he put in what he needed to. He paid his dues, on that 10-day contract. He earned the deal for the rest of the season. And he gets a night like this. He deserves it.
Yeah,
he deserves
does,
a night like this.
It's so true. Like, the story of Austin Rivers is that he went to Duke. He was literally the coach's son. Like, he kind of had, like, his life laid out for him. I mean, it's a little more complicated.
I mean, I think there's more layers to this, but all right, okay.
All the same, like, he didn't start off as an underdog. Like, he kind of had things working for him early on. And, like, he had to kind of go through it. He was humbled. And, like, now he's coming back. He, like, realizes, he said as much, like, sitting on the couch and watching, like, other guys play. Like, it really hit him. Like, how fragile an NBA career really is. And, like, you see, like, he just appreciates every moment. Like, it's amazing.
And I always like the journeyman, and he's kind of become a journeyman, been in a lot of situations. I always like it because I think they get great perspective.
Yes.
Like, you're around, you see different types of teams, different types of coaches, different types of leaders and this or that. And the way you could just tell this team has meant a lot to him and sort of, like, given this opportunity. But also, you just got to love the story of a guy that was on the shelf. Yeah. Denver, like, just back against the wall. They lose Jamal Murray. They lose Will Barton. They lose Monte Morris. They lose PJ Dozier. Like, everybody goes down. And all of a sudden, you're forced to bring in guys, and it's like, well, can we hold it together? And Austin Rivers tonight won them that game. They do not win this game unless he hits not one or two threes. Every single three he made was the difference in this game, and it was just so cool to see.
I can't wait for the interview because I know he's gonna open up. Like, that's the person
all-timer.
He says everything that he says he truly does mean it.
Yeah.
And I know that's gonna be a moment that I can't wait to go back and see. But like you guys said, like what D-Line was saying, he really has had everything given to him and then got it taken away. And a lot of people would have given up. And he's fought back, and there's been no excuses. He was on the couch a month ago. Like, that's a real story. He comes back. Things don't go his way. He still plays. He's still part of even though he's not part of the rotation, he's still a part of the team, still working on his game. Then everything opens up for him. He goes from a guy that's on, just on the couch to a starter. And now he's a starter
and a closer
playing real minutes.
An integral player, like integral.
That you count on and you really need in a playoff game. Like that's a story. Like that's a story that you sit there and harp on. And like, I don't care if they win, but I want Doc Rivers to talk about it because that has to be a moment for him. I can't wait till they interview him about that whole experience because that has to be cool to see, like, your son, who's, also had things taken away from him, and now he's fighting back, and he has his moment.
Yeah. What a hell of a moment, man, and a hell of a finish. In this game, like this series, we wondered, how are the guys going to step? It's funny, we just did our Who Do You Trust in the Foxhole? Or Foxhole, if you will. We just did that. Did you see my awesome graphic that I made, by the way? Did you see that one?
I didn't.
I let you sit this one out. I said, you know what, Eric? He's made a lot of graphics. I'm gonna make a great graphic. Do you have the graphic, Kale? Is it still on there? I see. We have the king of the game right now. I see we have Austin Rivers, who is, of course, the king of the game. 5 3-pointer, 4 of those. 4 of those.
Your man Tony
Big T.
Did he? Oh, Big T. Facu! Oh, man, he just blessed Argentina. Big T. Everybody go follow Big T at Run Pure Sports. He has
Big T called this one, too.
Who do you
Big
want in the
T.
Facu?
All right, pull it back up, Kale. Pull it back up.
So
Because I
you
really
also-
want to get a lot of
you
love
really-
for this.
So
we got a lot of guys in the foxhole here.
that's
We got
100% just a prairie dog colony.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
You have reduced our nuggets, our beloved nuggets, to rodent.
Or have I elevated them?
No, you've stuck them in the ground. You've turned them into rodents.
Eric hates anybody else making a graphic. It's
No, that's not true.
I mean,
that was a beautiful graphic.
That was creative. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
You know what? Who's not in the foxhole? D-line.
wow.
D-Line, you're not in the foxhole.
Yeah,
You know
it's not a rodent.
You know who is in the foxhole? Big T.
Big T.
Big T comes out. He drops the bomb. Also, I know that Facu made him a whole lot of money today. Austin Rivers made him a whole lot of money.
That's right.
And I'm glad that he's here.
He's
and
blessing us.
He's
Yeah.
blessing everyone else. Like this, that's a big night.
What a homie, man. But we talked about it. You know, what guys do you trust when the back's against the wall? Who's going to be able to handle the pressure? And I think, like, Rivers wasn't in the top 5.
We didn't even say his name during that
We
whole
didn't. I
segment.
don't think we said his name, but you know what? He is the guy that came to the foxhole. There he was.
The craziest part about Austin Rivers' night is I thought he was bad in the first 3 quarters. He was record scratching. He was super hesitant. He wasn't taking open shots when he had them.
Yeah.
And then he just comes out in the 4th with supreme confidence, just gets one to go down. Then he's just locked in from there. So,
Dude.
what he did in the 4th, that was so far away from the guy he was for most of the game.
Austin Rivers had the game that we all thought Michael Porter Jr. was going to have, like stepping up and draining threes in high leverage situations, like
true.
not backing down. This is like what it is this is why you bring vets onto the team. Like it matters. Like there's a difference between being able to knock down shots in an empty gym and like knock down shots when the weight of the world is on your shoulders.
This is a great super chat on here, by the way. Playoff Austin Rivers. I'm losing my voice. Can you guys hear this?
Yeah,
Playoff Austin Rivers should be called Austin Powers. Like, okay, all right. I can feel it. Number 2, Portland Crimea Rivers. Okay, all right. I'm with it. It's a good insult.
That was a good one.
And then this last one's great. Austin Rivers pulled a 2019 Rodney Hood on them.
Totally. Sure.
Exactly what happened.
Rip City on the ass.
Exactly what happened is he went Rodney Hood on them and changed the game, baby.
We owed them that.
It feels good. Like, it's funny because if you asked me coming into the game, what do I want to happen? I could have drawn out a bunch of scenarios. This was better than what I came up with. Like, Austin Rivers having a moment, that's better, man.
I know, dude. Truly, like this felt like a little fairy tale, didn't it? Like all of the it was. I mean, as we always say, when things go like so deep into our imaginations, it's like Nuggets fan fiction. This game, we're like Jokic is gonna cook Nurk. Nurk's gonna foul out. Dame's gonna go cold when it matters. Austin Rivers is gonna step up and just hit dagger after dagger. Like Carmelo Anthony's gonna be terrible until the end. Like. Fan fiction, dude.
And then Nikola Jokic is going to hit the game.
Oh, the game winner. Like, Monte has the lines like, you only need one. He misses both, and Jokic just grabs it and puts it back like, oh, y'all weren't ready for this.
Are we ready to call Jokic Mr. Nugget?
Wow. I want to move on to Jokic in just a second. But, you know, Austin Rivers early in this game, I was talking about it. We're sitting here. He looked gun shy to me.
Yeah.
Like, he had some open threes that he record scratched, and I remember thinking, like, opposite, like maybe he's not a foxhole guy or whatever, but you know what, when it came time to it, it's like he sensed the moment. So it's an interesting turn that he had during the game.
It's true. You saw him like really feel suddenly, in my opinion, like he just stepped into the mantle of like being a member of the team. Like not like a mercenary, not like a guy that came in on a 10-day at the end of the season because they needed to fill a role. Like he was like, I gotta be the guy, and he was. Dude.
It seemed like he felt the moment because, and we're gonna talk about this in a second, but Jokic looked tired. Porter didn't have it. They really had nowhere to turn, and I think he really just felt the moment and was like, "It's me or no one."
Yeah,
it's now or never for us.
Yeah,
it's up to me.
Earlier in the game, I feel like he just played within the offense. The moment wasn't big enough. That's a guy that actually understands. He looked around. He said, "Hey, these are critical like moments that I'm going to need." Jokic is tired, and he's got us here. Somebody else has to step up. MPJ doesn't have it right now. We don't have anybody else scoring. It could be me. I'm the guy that has to go through there, and this is what they brought me for, to make big shots, to take these shots with the second unit. And I'm going to like just do enough that Jokic could actually rest, and then he's going to come in and save the day like he does. So that's a guy that just understood the moment, and he did what he had to do.
Moving on now to Jokic. monster game from him. He got worn down. We'll talk about that. But, the interesting adjustment that happened tonight was that Portland said, Nurkic, you are getting absolutely cooked by Jokic for 2 games, and they decided to stagger him. So to bring Nurkic out early, and try to trust the starters without him to carry him did not work. The Nuggets, Portland came out, gave their best punch. They got a couple calls and gave their best punch. Denver responded so great, and then when they brought Nurkic out early and brought Cantor in, the Nuggets and Jokic in particular just absolutely feasted. If you're Portland, you're looking at it and saying, Cantor, you're gonna have to play 4 minutes here against Jokic. Just like, if we lose that by 4 points, that's okay, we'll call that a win. Instead, they lose it by 15 points, get absolutely obliterated. And then they bring Nurkic back in with the bench, which I think it's interesting because Denver's second unit has a hard time scoring, but Portland is such a bad defensive second unit that it's even Denver is getting buckets and just feasting on him. You put Nurkic in there, and all of a sudden now they're not scoring, and Portland was. So it was an interesting adjustment, but part of it is a concession on Terry Stotts' part that Nurkic, you're not really making any impact on Jokic or making such a marginal impact on him.
It's really true. The crazy thing, too, just to recap a little bit, how the game started, the Portland came out and just gave Denver their absolute best punch.
Yeah, we thought they would.
Dame was cooking, everybody was cooking. It looked like
crowd is rocking.
Crowd is rocking, and they just absolutely punched them as hard as they could in the face. And then Denver was okay.
Yeah.
Came back, took the lead, led by, I think, 7 after 1.
Won the quarter. Yeah, won the quarter after taking a haymaker to start.
Won the quarter handedly.
Won the quarter by
handedly,
9.
dude. The second that quarter ended, I was like, that's a wrap. That's a psychological barrier that the Nuggets just smashed through. Portland thought after that start it was going to be a game like Game 1, where they come out hot. Denver's a little discombobulated, doesn't know how to respond, but this is what happens when you go up against a team that has playoff metal, that's been in 7-game dogfights over and over and over. They, if I was to summarize it into one phrase, I would say, we don't back down.
What do you make of that adjustment for Portland to try to say, you know what, we're bringing Nurkic out early, we're vulnerable, but bring him back in and hopefully it wins the second unit number?
Yeah, I think it's more to the fact that they just Nurkic, you don't have it. I don't think that it's anything, I mean, of course it's deep, but it's more, you can't give us anything. We need to try to do something. I think that it was a desperation type of change where it's okay, you feel like you're playing well, but you're clearly getting outplayed. You're getting dominated in every single aspect of the game. And the idea is people are going to think that was a good Nurkic game. If you go off
his numbers are good, 13 and 6.
People are going to think that's a good Nurkic game.
+9, a lot of that second unit when he came back in the second quarter against JaMychal Green.
That was not a big Nurkic game. That was actually, he was a big reason why they lost the game.
Right, yeah.
He fouls out, he's getting attacked, he's really vulnerable out there because he's just such a mismatch, and Jokic understands that. Also, the biggest part of the game for me was how advanced Jokic is. There's a lot of things that you don't see or understand about him, and that's what really separates him from anyone else in the league. He has a big game where he has 36 points and 11 rebounds.
And 5 assists.
The fact that he was able to control the opposing team and coach with the way that he's playing and just the small, subtle things that goes a long way wins the game for him.
It's funny you say he's advanced because he really is the galaxy brain meme where it's Jokic as a player, he's not the big brain, he's not the glowing brain, he's the universe brain, the galaxy brain.
I mean, we know this. Yusuf Nurkic, he's just not about it. He's just not. He's not that guy, man. He's soft.
Rip City on the ass.
He's not that guy. And I'm curious where Portland goes now because Enes Kanter played 6 minutes in this game.
They can't play Kanter.
I don't think he played in the second half.
They cannot play Kanter.
We've probably seen the last of him this series. Portland
just bring it in for a quick look. Yeah.
Yo, we got
Fruity Nugs was in the house tonight, man. This felt like
sorry.
This honestly felt like this actually played out in real time.
MVP. Maestro versus Prima Donna, baby.
Elite signage, elite alliteration. Very good.
Dude, Fruity Nugs. Making it happen.
I feel like a little Price is Right.
The Price is Right. Yeah, it is. No, but I mean,
we've seen the last of Kanter potentially.
Can't play him, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, like every second he is on the
I love
court
that
is a
his name starts
disaster.
with can't, dude. I love it.
Like
It's,
we said in
so
the
beautiful.
pregame, or I know I was pointing out.
He was a minus 15 in 6 minutes.
We've seen the last of him for sure. He's done. See ya. See you next year. They need an absolute elite series from Jusuf Nurkic to beat Denver.
I thought he
foul
brought
out.
it. See, here's the thing: is I actually thought he brought it tonight. Like,
Totally.
he was so engaged. And again, it's funny. I know Stotts. Stotts sold this to Nurk too as like, hey, buddy, like where you want you to go with the bench unit, and it's going to be good for you. And there really is two parts of that. Is certainly a big part of it was they want to win those bench minutes. But another part of it is like, like Jokic is averaging 70% for shooting on the series on 36 points. I think he's now another 36-point game, so he's now averaging 36 points per game on like 60% shooting.
Nurkic is going to foul out every game.
I don't know. Nurkic, that's the one thing
Fuck
about
it.
that's the one thing about his game is he's getting dumb fouls. Like
Yeah.
he's trying to be
That's the
aggressive.
point.
I think he actually gets a little too amped up, a little too juiced. Like tonight he was like he was amped up and
know.
he was doing dumb stuff.
Yeah, let me
because of it.
summarize that. He's a dumb player, dude. He, like,
yeah,
makes-
low IQ. The other part about Yoke's game tonight,
You
though,
guys are harder on Nurk than I am, but okay, all right.
The other part about Yoke's game tonight, the threes.
Yeah.
Like, he's already the most unstoppable player in the league. I think the best offensive player in the league. When he's hitting threes, like, what does he even become at that point? Whatever level he's at, he just goes up 2 or 3 levels because he was just cashing them tonight. He was cashing contested threes, too.
Yeah.
I
How
weren't even
frustrated
open.
do you think it is for Stotts right now to just go into the next game or any game to realize I can't play my starting center and I can't play my backup center? What the hell
Well,
can I do?
and then they went to Carmelo guarding Jokic
And
just like a
Covington, yeah.
full desperation because they're down.
That's pathetic.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pathetic.
Yeah, he
really
cooked
is.
Covington. He cooked Melo. Like, I mean, my God, without the size of like, and really Nurkic, that's what he has to offer. It's like size. He's got quick feet too. Like, but as soon as that's out of there, like I mean, you start to see when Jokic can operate like unencumbered. It's barbecue chicken.
And Denver's just shot as a team shot really hot, and Jokic was obviously. It's funny too because the threes Jokic hit were early and they were so important. They were like we talked about. Portland gave that big punch.
Yeah.
What settled him down was Jokic hitting 3-pointers. Like he gets back-to-back threes, and all of a sudden an 8-point lead or whatever it was is 2, and you're like, yeah, that's right, man. So fantastic. Pull up the shirt again, Kale. Look at this beautiful shirt that Eric designed. He's
You know
been
what I
sitting on this
appreciate?
one.
Like we said, we were writing the language for it. We said, Jokic, the Joker always laughs last. And what did he do? He ended the game
Oh, man,
with
he
an
laughed.
absolute last laugh.
He had the
I
latest
love
laugh
this. Look at this. A
possible.
live audience we have. The fruity
so
nugs.
beautiful, dude. So beautiful.
This is awesome. We
Dude,
need to build it up.
I would say, yeah, the vibes are something.
They're
They're good.
Above
Vibes are good.
immaculate.
We got to hit our first break, guys. We're going to keep talking Jokic on the other side, but keep the comments coming. Are we over 2,000, Kale, live
Yes.
viewers?
We better
Have
be.
we ever hit that before? Is this a new record?
Nay.
This is a new record. Hell yeah, everybody. Keep hitting that
Everybody
like button.
hit
Let's
that
get over
like button if you're watching
3,000.
right
Let's
now.
keep it going. But let's hit a break real quick.
At Hassel Cattle Company, I know I'm losing my voice too. At Hassel Cattle Company right now, they've got this can't miss deal for DNVR listeners. Buy 3, get 1 free on their flank steaks. These things are awesome, super delicious, super tasty.
Eric is making another Hassel Cattle Company
right.
order.
That's right.
Remember?
Anybody in the chat, if you guys want ground beef or flank steak, you let me know. I'm putting together a group order.
This guy's got Hassel
Do you
Cattle
remember when we
Company
did this? I just made this
dripping
bit
out
a
of his
week
skin.
ago. I was like, Eric's ordering, and then here you are again in the group chat saying, I'm
I don't know what
ordering.
to tell you guys. Hassel Cattle Company is really good.
There was a real chat today, partner chat, where Brandon Spano and Eric were talking about how they have paid hundreds of dollars for the bet. You go to the fancy place or whatever, and they're like, the Hassel Cattle Company is better. And this is a private chat. They're not chatting up other people. I'm sharing the I hope you don't mind. I'm sharing.
Why are you sharing our private stuff,
Sorry
bro?
about that. He also shared. He cried in the chat for a long time.
Come on, man.
Weird.
Cut it
That's
off, man. You don't have to say what happened in there.
Yeah, but buy 3, get 1 free on their flank steaks with the code DNVR Flank, DNVR FLANK. At HassleCattleCompany.com. They're super cheap also, just $9.99, so you can buy 3, get 1 free on that. And as always, we've got the code DNVR10 for 10% off your entire order. HassleCattleCompany.com. That's the place to be. Also on DraftKings Sportsbook, they're putting you courtside with a chance to turn $5 into 240 to 1 odds on any basketball game. All you have to do is pick any team that's still in the hunt for the trophy. If that team wins, you get $200 in free site credit. Not bad. $200 in free site credit. Like I said, pick any team that is still in contention. Bet $5. If that team wins, you cash $200 in
Solid
free
deal.
credits. We cashed a lot of money tonight.
I'm gonna check. I haven't even
Cashed
looked.
a lot of green
Yo,
tonight.
when it's flowing, it's flowing. I'll say that.
I gotta
Everybody
say
knows
that last Nikola Jokic offensive rebound was big.
Yo, that got him over the double-double.
Wow, I don't want to.
That got the points, rebounds, and assists also.
Really?
Bro.
That
Yeah.
last little tip?
My
No
God.
way.
Last laugh.
I wish I would have known that.
You know,
I was too
sometimes-
busy. Like I was
yeah.
screaming at the top of my lung. I think I stood on a table at one point. I was out of.
Sometimes it's just meant to be. Just meant to be.
This was meant to be, fellas. This was meant to be.
Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR when you sign up to turn $5 into $200 in free credit. Bet on the basketball team of your choice to win their next game. If they do, you can claim $200 in free credits. It's promo code DNVR for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. New customers only. Wager paid out. In-site credits. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Dude, the vibes are immaculate. It's funny because
It's everywhere now.
now.
Yo.
Like we're so influential, guys. Like it's
I know.
incredible how
Well,
influential
here's the thing:
we
is
are.
it like it existed in language? It was a thing that existed.
So you
but
want to
like,
know the lamest thing though?
I
Is
know.
JJ Redick is now
I know.
trying to put a patent on it. It's like, bro,
no, Jalen Brunson is.
Jalen. Oh, I thought it was both of them together.
No,
No,
they were talking about how they're gonna whatever. It's ridiculous.
matter. It's so dumb.
Ridiculous.
it's the same.
The worst
Now you're
part
trying
is
to
that
go
like
up to-
we were doing it. I mean, it honestly happened in tandem. I just hate it, dude. I don't like sharing
No,
our
no, it
stuff,
didn't.
dude.
No, it
The only thing I like to share is a Hassel cattle company order. Get that free shipping.
What a segue. Getting back to the show here, guys, and staying on with Jokic. Again, we have the beautiful shirt. Become a DNVR member. You get it for free. Jokic wasn't in the post a lot tonight.
No.
It's a really interesting, and I can't wait to go back and watch the film a second
games
time
in a
and
row.
really figure out why it was. Well, he was in the post a little bit in the game too, but
little.
tonight even less so. I mean, he was really operating out on the top of the key. So, I thought that was interesting. But this is the thing about Jokic, man, and this is what makes him so interesting as a player is he really is like whatever you do, he's shapeless. It's like that Bruce Lee thing, like be water.
Be water,
You
dude.
do something to him, and he just like forms around. Is like, okay, then I'm going to do this and dominate and have 36 points in a completely different way. A completely different way.
Yeah, if you keep dominating in every way, how can they defend you? I think it just has the idea of we're going to try to open up the lanes. We're trying to get everything going, get everybody else going because they can't double team him right now if he's out on the perimeter. So it puts guys like on an island, and then he goes and dominates them. But then he's also such a good passer, and just his mind is just such a good reader that he could just see what else is happening. So I think it's just the idea that Stotts has nothing for him, and also Nurkic and Cantor are not the answer. So it's like,
Dude.
every day I'm going to just beat you in an entirely new way. You're not going to be able to like know what you're like, how to defend me.
We got the full Jokic experience tonight where he was hovering around the outside and he just started draining threes one after the next. And then the game shifted, it changed. He started to drop in late, and like the microcosm of the Jokic experience comes late in the game where Covington is guarding him and he just does a spin move around and makes him, just clowns him, and then drops a layup in at the rim. And then next time around, he starts to back Covington down again. Melo gets off of his guy, AG, to try to sort of stunt and double a little bit. Jokic just gives it to AG.
That
who
was
just
beautiful.
dunks.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you
Oh,
what
at
are you
the end
supposed
there,
to
they
do?
were so compromised. That's the thing is,
What are you supposed to do with this guy?
yeah,
though?
but at the end there, they really were just like, well, what do we have Melo on
Totally.
them? They're like, and they're, you think about how out of position there was. Melo's guarding a giant 7-foot, center. He's like, can't do it. They're like, how do I help? When do I help? Am I going here? And Yoke's just like, first time post up score, second time easy drop off for a dunk, and it's just like they're like, man,
Exactly.
I mean, they're so out of place on it. He put him so out of place.
And it's funny. I mean, obviously, we're well past this discussion, but like we were talking about Damian Lillard in the MVP discussion. It's like we get down to it at the end of the game, crunch time. It's like Dame has to offer deep threes from the logo, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, he gets into the paint a little bit, but like he doesn't cause pressure. He doesn't break defenses in that same way. It's like he has one way to attack you. Jokic has an infinite ways to attack.
Infinite.
It is
We have not
ridiculous.
seen all the ways he can attack you.
No, dude.
10 years from now, we're going to be like,
multiverse.
wow, a new way to attack Jokic, still adding things. Or has things.
It's wild, though,
It's not even adding them. He just has them. It's like, I've never had
He's
to do
just
this, but here
slowly
it is.
revealing them, yeah.
Like, the pass he had to Facu, that was he's had so many of these. And when he threw it, I was like, dude, that's 10 feet too far. Perfect.
As soon as he threw that, and it was Facu, I was like, dude, that's Mahomes to Tyreek Hill right here.
So high. Drops in the bread basket.
But I mean, this is what we saw throughout the entire regular season. Defenses throw different stuff at him. They guard him this way, they guard him that way, they push him out to the 3-point line, they double team him, they single coverage him, and he's just always got an answer.
Yeah.
He's always got an answer. And tonight he did it on like the biggest stage. He did what he does in a regular season game just in a crazy game 3.
Yeah. I see Boyan in the chat wants me to try to pronounce. I think it's the word that you put on there. I don't know. I think it's Shalavicia, but I'm not sure.
Are you looking at me for
Shalavicia?
Are you looking at me for confirmation?
Yeah, is that right, Eric? You know, what is the word you added to the bottom of your
Here's how
shirt?
I know this is right. This shirt, that shirt, I made it. I made these shirts a long time ago, by the way. And then I send them to Miroslav. And I say, is this right? And he says...
So blame
One
Miroslav.
day
if you have an
Miroslav,
issue.
he's going to do something, just mess with you. And it's going to be like, have you ever seen the shirts in Japan that have like weird English
It
things
just
on
says
them?
like sticky bun.
Yeah. I was like, what? I don't get what it means. People said no, Adam, way off. So I tried.
But also-
That was a tough one.
Just
I know.
an FYI.
That was a tough one.
FYI, anybody thinking about buying, we're getting Showtime, El Mago, and this shirt in all at the same time. We ordered these a while ago.
When do they come in?
In a week.
In a week.
Yeah.
You probably
So
come
we'll
to the
have
bar
it.
and get
So
your
you'll get it
quicker
way
if you
sooner
want.
than
Yeah.
usual shirts.
Stasi Nervo, not the yeah, that's kind of what I said. Shalavicia. Isn't that what I said? It sounds like kind of right.
Maybe it's the Vici.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes they write it out. I still can't get it. Yeah, Yoke's fantastic, man. And it's funny. Like, the one thing I would say I'm concerned with him tonight, he did run out of gas. And look, this is a tough series on him. Like, I know everybody's looking at the minute totals and saying, oh, he's played 60 minutes or whatever before, and he has. But, you know, the fact that they're putting so much physicality into the game, that he's having to step so high on the court and pick and roll, like, he's running. I would be curious to kind of look at the mileage he's run. But even past that, it's just the physicality of all of it. And these are a hard, whatever he had tonight, 35 minutes. They were a hard 35 minutes, and there's a game in 30 hours.
Yeah, every time that I watch it, you know, of course, because I'm sitting on the couch, I'm just like, Jokic should play more minutes. Jokic should be out there right now. Malone, what are you doing? But now, like, sitting back is probably for a reason. Jokic probably just can't play that long because, first off, he's carrying such a load, and he's also played every single game this year. So it's probably just a lot on him, and he's tired right now, but he's also just willing the Nuggets to victory and doing everything he can, and that's a lot to put on a player every single night for all of the games every single time.
Yeah, he was definitely tired in the third also. He was obviously tired tonight, but that's why the bench is such a big X factor in this series. And so far, I think through 3 games, the team who has had the better bench has won. I think the Nuggets bench was better tonight as they were in Game 2. Not as good as they were in Game 2, but definitely better than Portland tonight. And yeah, they're going to have to spell Yoke. Like, they're going to have to spell him, and they were able to tonight because, yeah, he wore down. And, man, if he can, like, rise up in Game 4, holy shit.
Well, if you do that, you get 3 days off before Game 5, and you get to come back home. So it's by no means a must-win. Now that Denver's up 2-1, for the first time, by the way, in the Jokic era.
Wow.
Now that they're up 2-1, it's not a must-win, but you are playing a little bit with house money here. And, like, if you had managed to get that in 3 days off, I love Denver's chances in Game 5. Love them. So,
I love it.
Let's talk about Aaron Gordon real quick. You know, he guarded Damian Lillard a lot down the stretch. Dev, what do you think about how he handled himself tonight on the defensive end?
I love the fact that he uses his length, he uses his strength, and he also just gives them so many different looks that he sees throughout the game. You have all these small guards guarding him that are just physical and trying to get under his skin, and then you have a guy that's like tall and lanky that's going to make you work. And then also with Gordon, it seems like everyone knows to help side the entire time. So he overplays and he forces Dame to have to come in and either have to skip pass or just to kick it out. But just having that in and out type of shift is good. Gordon started out the game, not so well, but I think it's because he's going throughout the first half without assignment. He doesn't know what to do. He's trying to be aggressive offensively, and then he gets to be comfortable when he's playing defense because that's what he's on the team for. So I think it was like a mixed bag game for him, but he closed out and he did what he had to do on Dame, even though Dame hit some very, very tough shots.
He always,
but those shots were also desperation. Like a little bit disguised in this was that Denver actually had a nice lead that then got cut because of some heroics from Dame, and I don't remember even who else all hit Melo.
That's going to be the story
and like
every
guys,
game.
Like this game, as much as it did come down to the absolute final seconds, it was Denver being up big and slowly losing that to in the free throw game. You foul, make free throws, then they come down and hit a three, foul, whatever. So I feel like you feel pretty good there. Aaron Gordon, though, out the gate,
he was fire out of the
first
gate,
quarter was maybe the best he's played in the Nuggets
that
uniform.
pull-up three? Like, are you kidding?
He was
What the hell was that?
Are you kidding?
He had two.
No, he had 1-3, pull-up three.
He only had one.
Yeah, it was a
He
deep
had two.
shot. It was a
all
deep
right.
shot.
Well, but he was the difference. Like, he's what turned the corner. Like, when he is what turned the Blazers' best shot. Like judo, he used their power against them, punched right back. Like,
It was very judo.
it was very
We
judo.
need Aaron Gordon in a judo. Like he has a very judo
All right,
vibe.
I'll work on it. I'll work on it tonight.
He
this is
probably
what-
will, is the thing. Yeah.
This is the dude. This is what we were. No, I have abs shirts I have to work on. This was everything we wanted and expected when we got Aaron Gordon, man.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't ever expecting to have to count on his offense, but like when
When it
does have
arrives.
he has that gear. He has it. Like,
What I'm always so curious about with Gordon is, like, how tough is this guy? Like,
Yeah.
is this a guy you want in the foxhole?
Right.
In the foxhole, sorry. And he had 2 defensive rebounds in that first quarter that were like traffic rebounds with Covington draped all over him, with Powell fouling him. And I just thought he came into tonight like wanting to be super about it, just really physical and just he just wanted to bring it from the opening tip. And I thought, like D-Line said, he kind of set the tone in that way.
That three, man. That three was why I screamed when he took it out of anger. I was like, a terrible shot. Because I think he hit a turnaround. I can't remember. He had a good play the play
Yeah,
before.
he was hot.
But it was like a one in a row. Like he had one in a row.
Yeah.
He took a heat
He
check real
thought he
quick.
was hot.
And he pulled into a three and just drains it. Looked like a 3-point shooter. And I was
he
like,
looked
wow.
he looked like Austin Rivers out there.
He did look like Austin Rivers.
I
out
do
there.
like how Denver's deploying him on Dame, though. He's kind of the Nuggets' closer to guard Dame. It's Facu and Rivers a lot during the first 3 quarters. And then the fourth, Gordon's going to be on him. I like that.
And I mean, it can't be overstated. Denver shoots 52.6% from three. They
Crazy.
go 20 of 38. So you think about that first game. What did Portland make? 19 threes. Tonight, Denver makes 20. So even a more hot game than game one. So some of this, yes, absolutely unsustainable stuff from Denver. But again, the way it happened was more players stepping up and hitting shots than it was like complete luck or this or that. They just ran hot because they stepped to the plate and swung, and that's what we love.
Can I have a sneaky King of the Game nominee?
Okay.
Michael Malone.
Okay. It's your guy.
I mean, don't you think he's made the adjustments? Like, he's put Portland in a place where they are feeling the pressure always. Like, he's not just putting Aaron Gordon on Dame. That's the silver bullet, whatever. Like, he's mixing things up.
He didn't overdo it. You could have easily overdone it
He's
tonight.
keeping, I felt like he just pushed all the right buttons tonight. Like,
And even as a team, like, you have to give him some credit that so many guys can step into these roles. I know it's a lot of people, but there's certainly a culture in here of, like, him having... I mean, we always joke about, like, Marcus Howard is not a Michael Malone type.
Right.
Just from a player.
Puts him in.
But the fact that he has him out there and playing with confidence
and he hits with
stuff
three.
is-
He hits threes because, again, man,
empowered.
Like the people who are like lukewarm on the Nuggets, drop in, drop out, have like their takes on the way that the team is managed. Michael Porter Jr. needs more minutes, et cetera, et cetera. It's like when you get into these moments, you realize like the totality of the job that Michael Malone has done, like creating a group that does not falter, that has faith in one another, and like there's not like a weird scapegoat thing that happened like the Clippers. Like when things go bad, they start looking at each other, and like it just doesn't exist. And to me, it's just so impressive.
The guys that do that Malone criticism, like, I'm
don't
not
pay
going to
attention.
call out the clown that's like leading the charge on Twitter, because everybody knows,
Yeah.
like that it's a joke, but really showed his ass tonight because there was some like somebody told me Melo is a nugget. No, -11 tonight. Like, he wasn't. Like, get out of here, man. He hit 2 shots back to back. Like, all right. Other than that, absolutely atrocious tonight.
It's embarrassing, dude. Like, the city of Denver and Nugget Station everywhere. Like, it's time to rally behind this team. Like, I don't want to read another thing that criticizes the fans for their conduct, the way that we've gone about things. Melo, Michael Malone. Like, no, dude.
No, just keep people that do it. Keep doing it because they're just showing their ass. That's the thing they don't get.
I don't want to see any more asses, dude. I just want to see, like...
You want to walk through a world with no ass?
I just want... Denver...
I wouldn't want to be in that world.
I know. Well, sorry, Dev. Apologies, Dev. But I want to live in a world where, like, Denver realizes what they have here and they celebrate it. And
it should be celebrated.
Put it on a pedestal like it belongs.
These comparisons, like, who was it? I saw Kevin Durant liked a tweet the other day where somebody, like, put out who would you rather have, Trey or, and I can't even remember who was comparing him to, and somebody quote tweeted with, like, I'm going to be honest, I freaking hate these like, because they never stop. It's always this, and like I'm with it. Like I'm with Kevin Durant. I like that tweet too. Like why do we always have to do but this guy and this guy? Like, man, just enjoy. They just won this awesome game. Don't take it in the dark place.
The thing you have to do is, I guess, cover the Nuggets and watch every single game because then you like have a deep
it's tougher
appreciation
that way.
of like what's going on. And like if you follow the NBA on a surface level via Instagram or TikTok, like. It's just so stupid. But this is incredible. Like, this is one of the best things that's ever happened to me this game.
Let's move on to Michael Porter tonight. 5 of 11. To me, the 11 stands out. First of all, a team high plus 14, and this happens a lot. We talk about it all the time. He's always like a team high. Yeah. His value, his contributions, despite an enormous and I think more glaring amount of flaws than you saw in the regular season. For the second year in a row, you get to the playoffs and you're like, there are things he just can't do. But it doesn't matter because the talent level is so high, and I'm concerned that he only got 11 shots off. To me, I put this more on him than I do on the team not running plays for him. Like, he has opportunities. He just sometimes fumbles those away, sometimes literally fumbles them away. But he just has areas he has to get better, footwork, catching, and going into a shot. His first shot tonight was like the worst footwork ever. It was like he had an open shot, but he ruined it by not being able to get into his shooting motion properly. So it's little things like that. But nonetheless, he still made a run in that third quarter, a personal Porter quarter that got started before he kicked out his leg and got pulled out. Like, if he didn't kick out his leg, he might have gone for 20 points in that quarter because he was on fire.
It was such a personal Porter quarter.
It was a personal Porter quarter. I love Porter quarters.
Yeah, but I mean, it's easy to say looking back in hindsight like that he should have, or it was a good game, but you want him to take a lot of shots, especially when you need something to get going. But then at the same time, you're like, if other people have it going, you don't want him to ruin that, and you also don't want him to just keep pushing. I think it's really difficult, to gauge what type of games he's having. But also, when you look at that plus minus, it just tells you how much gravity he has, and also how important it is that he's on the floor.
Absolutely.
Regardless if he's scoring or not scoring, you have to respect him as a scorer. He could go 0 for 15. And you still have to have a guy on him at all times because in your mind he can explode from at any moment. He also has his mini flurry or whatever it was. But they really needed it at the time. I didn't want to do that tongue twister. They really needed it at the time. But also they gained momentum after that, and it kept the lead for the Nuggets at a time that Portland actually came back into the game. So mixed bag type of game for him. He still has a very, very long way to go defensively. They attacked him in ways that I don't want to see anyone get attacked anymore. But
so true. This is the thing is he is the mark. Like, they are looking at him as the mark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we were so curious to see how he'd come out in this game. First road playoff game with the crowd, and I have no idea what the crowd was like in Portland tonight, but I mean, Porter was down bad at the beginning, man. No confidence, fumbling the ball, bad body language. I thought he played kind of soft at the beginning of the game. And then, he had the big run. But yeah, defensively. It was tough defensively tonight.
They were hunting him.
Yeah.
He is
which we thought they would do. Right. We thought that would be a big focal point of tonight's game.
Absolutely. He's like a Damian Lillard. He's like any of these guys where it's his offense is so great that it transcends that. But tonight, 15 points, he's got to get back to the point where he's a 25 minimum point per game scorer because we know that the defense it won't be perfect. I think it will be a lot better every year. The improvement he's made from last year, this year, he's not the mark that he was last year where it was oh my God, you can't even play this guy. You got to protect him with all these different guys. It's not like that level. But, he does have to get his offense up there to maximizing and actualizing all the great things he does. And I think he will. I think the number one thing I said, people ask me, what difference does it make this year, go into the second round or not? And I'm like, what it makes a difference is every quarter counts so much for Michael Porter, or every game, playoff game counts so much for Michael Porter. And he's getting better, whether even tonight he only had 15. It still was a big one for him.
And he wants it to. Tim Connolly said this on our show. Like, the thing people get wrong about Porter is he's a grinder, man.
Yep.
He wants to be great. He was pissed that people called him out defensively last year in the playoffs, and he got a lot better. I have a feeling he's going to look at the film from this year's playoffs and say the same thing and come back an even better defender. So he wants it. He wants it.
If you look at according to Cleaning the Glass tonight, Denver had a 125 offensive rating. For the record, that's insane. It's like all time. The better than all time, actually. It would be the best offensive rate. If that was a season, it would be the best of all time. They had a 118.6 defensive rating, which is really bad. That also would be like the worst all time. But again, you're going up against a Portland team that I think they were at like 117 or something for the year. So you actually hold Portland more in line with what they did regular season, and you elevated your offense up even more. So impressive there. Campazzo tonight. We have any Campazzo? No, I know Argentina always. It's funny. I always see him in the notes. They'll put when we start talking about him. Yeah, El Mago. What'd you see from Porter tonight, Harrison?
Campazzo. Facu? I mean, he almost had a triple-double. He was everywhere.
Dude.
A little too risky on some of those passes for my liking.
Can't believe he almost had a triple-double. I didn't see that. Wow. 8 and 8.
11, 8, and 8.
Wow.
I wonder what odds we could get on DraftKings for a Facu triple-double.
100-1. Like, really great odds.
Yeah. But, I mean, he was everywhere, man. He was everywhere. And I tweeted this during Game 1. Facu can become an absolute Nuggets legend by the end of this series. And I really wonder if he's just on his way there. I mean, the guy's just unbelievable.
No.
It's unbelievable.
I think that the guy's incredible. Really, like, just to have that type of cojones. Like, out there on the court, he's doing zip passes. He's, like, threading the needle. He takes chances that nobody else takes. And one of the things that really, like, I've been, like, watching the most is Facu will piss someone off. I don't know if he doesn't understand that he just pissed them off.
He doesn't know any better. Yeah.
Or if he's just like, I don't care that I pissed you off. Right. I'm still about to get under your skin some more, because he'll like do something to someone and he can see them physically, like visually upset. Like, he can see it. And he goes right onto them and, like, makes sure that, like, he's still on them after they almost just, like, hit him and stuff. He does not care.
Well, he pissed off Damian Lillard tonight.
Lillard was talking so much shit to him, and he's just like, dude, I don't like, you're taking it personal. For me, it's not. It's how I play every time. It's how I played the preseason.
It's like arguing with, like, a golden retriever. Like, Mom, like,
he wants a golden retriever.
He just, like, jumps up on you, and you're like, has anyone seen this? And they're like, dude, he's a golden retriever.
He's like Air Bud. He's a real life Air Bud.
Dude, Air Bud?
No, don't do it. Don't do it. But he's everywhere.
I'll be back. I have something to work on. I don't want to let my know.
On both ends of the floor, he's like passes, the rebounding. Vogt talks about the rebounding every single game. Like, it's an underrated factor for him, especially for a guy that's so small. He's poking the ball loose. He's setting up for charges. A guy that small takes a charge on Nurkic, like, that's just, you don't see that every day, especially from a guard who's a starter in the league. You don't put your body on the line, but he's willing to do that with one of the bigger yet softer players in the league. And he knows the assignment. He understands what he needs to do, and he does it every night. Huge game.
Let's take our last break here. On the other side, I want to talk about Paul Millsap, JaMychal Green tonight. I got so many tweets today, people saying, why doesn't McGee play? I don't think McGee should play in this series, and I'm going to explain why. So I know a lot of people are thinking, like, Nurkic going crazy. I'm going to explain why on the other side. But before we go to this break, I want to give a major shouts to super producer Kel. People don't realize how much, like, honestly, I never give him enough credit, to be honest, how much he has to control to make the show running. Yeah. And he never gets the, like, he never gets the reward for it. But super producer Kel, he does like a million things at once to keep this show going, including kicking a-holes out of the chat, which is always great. I saw him do it earlier today.
Wait a minute. He kicked me out of the chat.
Oh, dang it. Kick him out.
That's what you guys get for being in the chat. That's what you get. Yeah, guys. Solace Meds. They've got a bunch of locations in Colorado. They've got 4 of them. 1 in Fort Collins, 1 in Wheat Ridge, 1 off of Broadway. one just blocks away on East Colfax from the DNVR bar. So maybe you're coming here for game 4. If you are, come early, be loud.
Yo.
Have immaculate vibes, but be early. Be early.
Yeah.
Maybe stop off at Solace Meds before. Use code DNVR20 when you're there for 20% off at checkout. They've got tons of deals on top of that as well. They got deals like going every day, 365 days a year. So stop into Solace Meds. They've got a bunch of locations in Colorado, 1 blocks from the DNVR bar on East Colfax. And remember to use code DNVR20 when you're there at checkout for 20% off. You can also order online and pick up at your convenience. You can use that DNVR20 promo code online as well at solacemeds.com. If you're looking for help with your mortgage, maybe you're trying to buy a house, check out Chevalier Mortgage. Mike and Virginia Chevalier, they know what's up. They're DNVR members. They're part of the family. They love Colorado sports. They also have tons and tons of experience, decades of experience in the mortgage industry. So visit them at dnvrmortgage.com. You can get set up with a free consultation with them. You can also win a free DNVR shirt or hat of your choice when you do. Like I said, they got tons of experience in the business. They know what they're doing. dnvrmortgage.com. Michael Chevalier, NMLS number 1931006. Virginia Chevalier, NMLS number 1910631. And finally, Gabby Insurance, guys. Gabby.com/DNVR. Tons of us here at DNVR are saving money with them.
Let's go.
The average customer at Gabby saves, you ready for this?
I can't even. Let me guess.
$961 per year.
I was going to guess $7 or $8.
Wow.
Way more than that.
Way off.
$961.
I've heard
You
this
would have
ad.
won if I would have guessed too high.
I've heard this ad so many times, but I've never really sucked it in. Unbelievable.
$961 per year on average. What you do, go to Gabby.com/DNVR, type in all your car and home insurance. They'll run your numbers and tell you where you're blowing money and where you can save money. It's honestly as simple as that. They won't sell your info either, so you won't get any like spam or robocalls. So go to Gabby.com/DNVR. It stands for Get a Better Insurance with Gabby. That's exactly what they help you do. Totally free, no obligations. Gabby.com/DNVR. Go to Gabby.com/DNVR.
I sleep like a baby tonight.
I might sleep like a baby like right now, actually.
I sleep like a baby every night.
I sleep so like
Dev's like, where's vote?
the amount of it.
Dev's like online, like, dude, wrap it up, Jokic.
Man, me and Yoke are like one. Like if he hurries up, I hurry up. Someone's like, "Do you get mad? Like they kicked you off the show?" I'm like, "You think they kicked me off the show?" Like, that is me. I make that choice.
Every time somebody comes, I'm like, you want me to go? Dev's like, no.
Is he trying to get in? Can you let him in? People in the chat need to understand we are all friends. Like sometimes I get the message like, "You guys, I don't know if Dev like this or that, but guys, we're friends here." Like this is. We also hang out and talk. When there's not Nuggets games sometimes. Oh my goodness! Look at are we having? Is it voting time? Yeah. Is it voting time? Speaking of the devil, Dev.
I don't know.
We're kicking you out.
Dev, we're specifically kicking Dev out at his request.
The worst part is how you have to hang around here.
Yeah, and then he has to hang around.
Just looking off, longingly, wishing he was back on the. Oh, and he's gone.
I love how Dev wins us some money. Talks a little, spits some wisdom.
Dude, Dev might be the. They say
This guy's got it figured out.
Yeah, you know how
he really does.
2 days is too long for leftovers or guests.
Sure.
Dev comes in, makes you money, heads right out. It's beautiful.
He's not leftovers.
Wait, what? Yes, he's the leftovers, or is he the guest that eats the left? That's so weird.
He doesn't linger.
Is he the refrigerator?
Linger.
I don't know. It doesn't
He
matter.
makes
Okay.
you money.
Linger.
He never overstays his welcome. Not that his. You know what? I'm too deep in a hole. I love Dev. I love Dev. I miss him, and I'll do whatever he wants me to do.
Guys, live from the Denver Nuggets locker room, we have Brendan Vogt, who just spoke with Michael Malone.
We had some
Let me guess. Michael Malone, Nikola Jokic, Austin Rivers.
It's obvious.
El Mago, right?
Facu?
I knew it.
Dude.
Wow. All right. There
We'll
we go.
start where we always start with Michael Malone.
I would have gone Gordon, but okay.
On Austin Rivers,
There is a group
quote,
chat you could get in,
guy was sitting at home for 2.5 months waiting for his phone to ring, and it wasn't ringing. Austin Rivers is a good player. Different quote, I said to him, Austin, let it go. Let it fly. Shoot the ball when you're open. another one on the contributions he's getting, the team is getting from all these newcomers. You guys ready? Quote, we're like the Statue of Liberty. We'll take anybody, baby.
Oh, I love it.
Make
I
the
love
quote
it.
graphic, send it out, tweet it, put it on
like the
Instagram.
statue.
He is a first-team all-scrum, man. He's unbelievable.
he's the MVP. For time being honest here.
Malone,
Maybe the GOAT scrum.
Malone agreed with Harrison. Quote, the bench has been a deciding factor in all 3 games. He's proud of his bench group. He's hopeful folks will see game 4. Quote, I think our game is on the Oxygen Network. He loves that one.
He does love that one.
I do too.
He definitely gets the Oxygen Network too, because he's used the Oxygen Network like a couple times over the years.
God, there's nothing like Malone in
Big
a
Tour
big
de
win.
France guy.
Malone post game in a big win is just like.
When Tim Conley said that Malone wants to come to the bar and have a drink, my soul left my body.
Yeah, didn't say that publicly, but all right.
Oh, he said that?
Nope. Malone on Facu. What you love about Facu is he's 5'0", and yet lists off the rebounds and the
that
blocks.
he's 5
Is
foot
he closer
nothing.
to 5'0"
He's
or 5'10"?
He's 5'7", 5'8", probably.
You think he's 5? We haven't seen him, man. Like I want to actually.
Yeah,
see
I know,
him in
man.
person.
I think I know. You know, this is my arena.
You're like at the carnival where you could guess people's weight.
I'll tell you what he's not. 5'11".
Yeah.
But yeah, he said he thinks Facu's averaging a block in this series. Quote, I hope he gets a bunch of votes for all rookie team. He's a huge part of what we're doing, and I couldn't be more proud of Facundo Campazzo from Cordoba.
I'll tell you what, I don't think there's going to be a lot of rookies that make the playoff impact that Facu has so far. Even though like Damian has torched him, he still contributes.
Right.
You know, like that's what's crazy.
We talked to Facu for a long time, a lot of questions in Spanish. I'm sorry, man. 3rd grade, I had a chance to learn that language, and I just I phoned it in. He did say on Austin Rivers, he was on fire, pointed out that he guarded Damian Lillard as well, and then he did a great job on defense. The big quote I love from Facu on his play style. Quote, when I was a small kid in Cordoba, Argentina, I used to play the same way with my teammates. We were all small size. We were little ones. I think my DNA...
He didn't say mini lads?
I think my DNA, the way I play the game, it comes from when I was a kid.
That's awesome.
Once a mini lad,
So yeah, I was typing that one with tears in my eyes.
Yeah, I'm about to cry.
If you can believe it, we heard from Austin Rivers, and if you can believe it, he had more heat for us. He on his journey back to an NBA team, waiting for that phone to ring and it not ringing. Quote, my basketball ability was never questioned. It was who I was as a person. That's even worse. And truthfully, it broke my heart.
What?
Sort of a separate quote, but the same idea.
This one was. Say that one again. Can you say that one again?
My basketball ability was never questioned. It was who I was as a person. That's even worse. And truthfully, it broke my heart.
Wow.
My God.
He did say.
We fucking love him though.
He said what he was asked by Mark Kisler.
One of us.
Sort of about what he was, what he's looking for in Denver, and if he found it. And he said, honesty with myself is what I was trying to find. Ultimately, a lot of what happens in this league is on you. And he said, I'll stop short of saying everything, but most things. And that it's very, very hard. He's made this point before to look in the mirror, point the finger at yourself, and say, it's on me.
God, I love this dude.
Quote,
I'd run through a wall for him.
He says he's grown so much as a person.
right there.
I'm jumping all over the place here, but these are...
If I needed to, not for no reason. I'm saying.
I see.
I would never be needed to run through a wall for him, so I can say this with ever having to pay the bill.
impunity.
Yeah, completely.
on how he's feeling right now, just raw how he's feeling. Quote, it just feels really good, man. This game can bring you to the lowest feeling in the world, and then this game can make you feel so good about yourself, too. It's a beautiful game.
Man.
Couple
good
more for
God,
you.
Man. I love this dude. Every quote. Can I love him more? I don't think so, but let's find out.
Katie Wingy asked him about the support he's received in Denver, if he's ever seen, if that's normal in the NBA. Quote, I've been in the league for 10 years, so they know who I was and what I was capable of. I think they saw it and they believed in me. But no, it's not normal for that many guys from the get-go to accept you. It was such a warm welcome here. Beyond anything I've ever seen in my life, honestly.
My God, you knew he was going to spit fire.
He brought it every time, man.
He brought it.
He's as consistent as Nikola Jokic.
Was he better in the game or in the post game? It's a tough one. Toughie. I'm going to go game this time, but it's close.
I'm going to say game.
Guys, we talked to Jokic, who I was just reflecting on this. I don't think this guy's cracked a joke in 2 months. I mean, I haven't seen it. He's all business, man. And you can tell I don't want to say dismissive of these questions, but Like, if the question's about something he doesn't feel is germane or relevant to him, it's more or less next question. I mean, he's locked in. I will say the big takeaway was a quote. He was asked by Joel Rush about what Michael Porter Jr. is doing well so far in this series. Jokic immediately says, not forcing it. When you force it, it kind of makes your teammates mad. You see when someone is forcing it. When you're not forcing the game, it comes to you. He is using himself as bait, and he's playing really well.
Man.
I do not think he needs to score. He's playing really well.
So good as bait, man. Master bait.
God damn it, I was going to say it. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to say that.
No,
Glad you said that, though.
I think anyone who watched this game is like, that's all well and good. The defense probably needs to be better in game 4, and that's fair. But it's an interesting point, like just what Porter does to the geometry of the floor.
Yep.
Just by being on the floor. And without him, you think about the weak shooters out there. How would Yoke have any room to move?
Totally.
And so he really stressed this point that he doesn't need to score to have an impact on this series.
Yeah.
And that's it,
Wow,
fellas. That's
man.
all I got.
That was
What a presser.
Not only did I love that presser, I love the way you delivered that presser.
Thanks,
man.
man.
Oh, dude. I
It's
felt
almost
I
like
was there.
slam poetry. It's like he came in here and just like freaking just one line after the other, no hesitation.
I actually wonder if I actually question if Brendan even attended the post.
Yeah, I made those up.
I think I just freestyling over here.
Made it all up.
That would be such a drag if it was the perfect thing. And you're like, I'm just kidding, guys.
Just
the
kidding.
Zoom wasn't working.
Nope.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear anyone. I think Malone told me to go fuck myself. I'm not sure, but yeah.
My God. Austin Rivers, man. Is it too much to get an Austin Rivers tattoo?
No, dude, it's too little.
No.
Is there a little? Maybe I'll just do the cross right here.
probably not
Can I
enough.
pull off? Can I pull it off? The little cross right behind the ear is not really for me.
Listen, if you're going to go in,
Go all the way.
you got to go all the way in. You need a little Austin Rivers head looking up at you, whispering into your ear.
Listening to those Rivers comments, all I can think about was there was a brief sort of liminal phase in between Denver really propagating this culture thing and us seeing that bear fruit. And there were some hiccups. I mean, Jeremy Grant left. That seemed to blindside them. I thought they thought he wanted to be here. But the proof is in the pudding, man. That writing's on the wall. Whatever the culture is in Denver, whether it starts with Tim, Michael, or Jokic, or all three, it's there. It extends down to the very last guy on the bench. And in my opinion, as much to do with his basketball abilities, it is why a guy who was on the couch, not hearing that phone ring, just won a playoff game. Don't question the culture. Don't doubt the culture. It may not be enough, but it's there.
Yeah, it's incredible, man.
Ask the Clippers about their culture. It's a real thing. It's something we talk about a lot, and people just kind of sometimes shake their head about it, but it's totally real.
Dude,
it's totally real.
This is a game where you have to. I mean, they're in battle. Like you're in the foxhole, for real. Like
yeah, for real.
You
they
have
are.
to like know without any doubt at all in your mind that the man to your right and the man to your left are somebody you can rely upon, and like that doesn't come from anything other than just like true bonding and like being in it together, like not backing down. Like together, they just. And
they've been using that language, by the way. Have you heard it? It's come up a bunch. The like, we don't back down. I saw when they cut to the huddle tonight. Michael Malone had one where they like cut into the huddle, and he's like, "Listen, guys, we don't back down." And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Listen, man.
We are in tune with their culture.
He's like, all right. He's like, all right, El Mago, get in there.
Hey, showtime. We need you up here.
But truthfully, we picked up on it because if you can't read it on their lips or hear it in the arena, it's palpable. It's palpable what this team is about, what their identity is.
So we're actually making light of this, but I think what you talked about earlier about the culture of the team and this or that, like, and part of it is you were talking about how it trickles down. It does trickle down to us too. I know this
That's
sounds
right.
silly,
No, it's
but
true.
it really is a thing where it's like, it is so strong of a brand and a culture that everybody can see. It's so transparent and it bears the fruit that everyone's like, there it is. That's the thing
And
that
dude,
they're talking about.
In 2021, as a fan of a team in the National Basketball Association, to be able to sink your teeth into this, to line yourself into this, it's a privilege, man.
And it didn't happen overnight. You can't understand, you can't get the Nuggets culture if you haven't been on the journey.
No, you can't.
You can't get it if you're a casual.
You get a taste. You get a little taste.
If you just jumped on the bandwagon the last year or so.
By the way,
you
welcome,
can see
welcome.
it. Yeah, you can see it, but you really just don't get it to the fullest extent.
Yeah,
like,
runs
if you,
deep,
like-
man. The roots run deep.
If you cover them for other places and you drop in once or twice a year, come playoff time, you try to summarize what the Denver Nuggets are to the larger Denver community, like you just miss so badly because you don't get it. Like you just don't understand because
There's only one person, honestly, because you can tell the people that like were assigned the Nuggets and followed them for a little bit and did maybe a couple weeks of research. But like, that's why I'm always so impressed with the GOAT, Zach Lowe, because I remember last year after they beat the Clippers and he gave his big soliloquy about the team and he went back to Game 82 and you're like, he gets it. And of course he gets it, I think, because he actually watches the Nuggets. Like, he has to watch all the other teams. I think he gets to watch the Nuggets, so he keeps up with them. But I'm always impressed when people see it when they haven't been able to spend that much time. Vote. I kind of want to hear your thoughts on the game, though. Like, you had to miss the first half of this. What's your big takeaway?
Oh, man. I don't know. I'm not sure if I have one. I'm not prepared. Facundo Campazzo played really, really well. And this is what, when we talked about Facu making an impact defensively in this series, this is kind of what we meant. Yeah. He's not going to shut guys down.
Dude, he was so good tonight.
Those swing moments, those chances we keep calling them. How many times was Facu there tonight?
Always.
How many times was he there to make the play?
The momentum feels like it's going to swing, and Portland's off on a fast break. They pass the ball ahead, and Facu like somehow teleports and grabs the ball, steals it, tiptoes so he doesn't fall out of bounds, and then passes it back in. We were like, what? Like, what was that? That was incredible. Like, and he was hitting his threes to start off with. Like, Argentina, like, if we ever doubted you, if we ever thought that playoff Facu was not a thing.
Next time an entire nation insists.
Lo siento. Sorry.
Lo siento.
Yeah.
The other thing, too, guys, Jokic looked really gassed in that fourth. And, like, Malone's shooting for 35, 36 minutes here. And I think that's the right call. And I wonder, do we see that? Like, it's frustrating in those moments where you go, he's got to be on the floor now. But then we saw him tonight. How much was left in the tank? You want something left in the tank for Game 7. Yeah. And will that be there? And is Malone playing this the right way? I think so far, so good.
They might empty the chamber in this next game. It's a day game. It's always weird, but you do get 3 days off after it. So maybe you do feel – I mean, tonight, if you lose this game and you play Jokic 44 minutes and he gets like one night's sleep before – it's like, oh, man, you're worried. But – you get 3 days off. Like, every player can fully recover in 3 days.
And then you come back for a Game 5 with the bigger crowd, a closeout game.
Game 4 gets to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Game 4 gets to be a lot of fun.
They got nothing to lose in Game 4.
They got not. Yeah.
And look, man, don't forget this potential development of, did we see Will Barton in Game 4? Game 5?
Emotional
reinforcements on the horizon.
Holy smokes, dude. I don't have any more emotion to give. I left it all on the floor tonight.
I left it all out there at the bar, man, for sure. One thing I want to talk about. So, with the adjustment of putting Nurkic on the bench, bringing him out early, then bringing him back for the bench units, the reason I don't – look, they might try out a JaVale McGee, especially if there's ever a game to try it would be Game 4 because you're so tired that maybe you try to give somebody that's fresh. I mean, tonight Portland went to Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, like try to make it – didn't really make it that big of a difference. But, you might try to go – but here's the thing that you have to keep in mind. Denver is not worried about like tonight. I know Portland killed him in points in the paint. Like, okay, part of that was the personality of the game and how it unfolded. But the thing is, you don't want to let Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, even Anthony Simons, and even Norman Powell get going downhill or getting open for three on the pick and roll. And JaVale McGee, as good as he is, do you want him stepping out on the perimeter and getting switched onto those guys over and over? You get JaMychal Green, you get Paul Millsap. They're just a lot more mobile, and you could stick them out there and hedge and recover and play your normal defense. And look, maybe JaVale McGee works, but maybe he doesn't, and you constantly get caught in these pick and rolls that it's like you're switched 1-5. It's what's tough.
In an effort to win a rebounding battle, when maybe that just comes down to the guy's rebounding better. And that's Malone's favorite adjustment is play better.
Jokic did not rebound well tonight.
Yeah, it's a big part of it.
In that third, he didn't finish with 10. I mean, 2 of those were on that last possession. In that third quarter, I think, when he really first began to show some fatigue, I thought, Nurk killed him on the glass.
Yep, yeah.
I think Nurk had 3 or 4 offensive rebounds in that quarter alone. He killed him on the glass.
But a lot of these rebounds are, again, the big stepping out. Yeah. Like, it's rotate. Like, Nurkic got that one today over Monte Morris, right? Where he's just
good job.
But what I'm saying is Denver has to, like, the rebounding is going to come from more guys understanding that you're being out of position and everybody has to go and secure the board, not just, like, trust the like, oh, I'm out on the perimeter, I contested the shot, I'm good. Like, no, you got to get back in there. And that's why I said Nurkic is such an important player in the series because, one, Cantor can't guard him, and obviously they can't go small. But 2, like, offensively, Denver is picking their poison, and they're picking Nurkic. And tonight, Nurkic was great for the minutes he was in there, but he wasn't great enough. Denver is choosing Nurkic beat us. Tonight he played great, didn't do it. Couldn't get it done. So
I'm so comfortable with that game plan.
Oh, me too.
So comfortable.
Can I just get one more shout out of a player that I feel like really stepped up tonight?
Okay.
J-Mike.
J-Mike.
Dude, J-Mike.
He hit those big threes.
That was another
Some
guy
good
in the
rebounds,
first
too.
quarter that,
Yeah.
like, when things were looking rough, like, just came in and
He had a mega rebound in that first
mega
quarter, I think.
rebound, hit
Maybe
3
second.
threes. Like, when things were looking down, things were looking rough. Like, he's kind of stumbled the last couple games. Like,
They
he
needed
hasn't
that
looked great,
from him.
and he was playing with like such supreme confidence. I was so impressed by him
Yeah.
early on. Like, he and Paul Millsap, like, they're kind of just like playing tag team as to who's going to be the one on, which is
Yeah.
fine. Like, they're interchangeable in a sense. So,
Yeah.
crazy.
What a hell of a game, guys. A hell of a winner's
Hell of a
lounge, a hell
night.
of a night at the bar. I mean, everything was just so perfect tonight. It was really great. And now it sets up a little bit less pressure. I mean, it's not that you can ever give away games. Like this,
No.
if you lose game 4, the odds of this going 7 and go up so high.
Dude,
but you know what? You get to play with house money. I think Denver's the better team. I really do.
They are the better team.
And now you have a chance here to put so much pressure on Portland in game 4. And if you walk away with that one, you're in just great.
We have
great
officially
place.
seized back home court advantage.
Man, I love what you just said though, and I kind of hope that's the message. Go out and have fun. Go out and have fun in Game 4.
Yeah.
Play the way you want to play.
What
Have
if they
fun.
just, like,
Don't give
run-
a fuck.
Don't
What if they're
get-
just
yeah,
like running
give a
and like
fuck.
giggling? Yee, the whole, they're just like, yeah. They're just like playing hopscotch and stuff.
Like, all right, maybe
Skipping up and down the
Like,
court.
they're like, not that much fun, Facu.
Yeah, all right, a little too much fun. But this was great. Hey, so we have Al. Is he lined up for tomorrow's show? Tomorrow, 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a show again, another live show tomorrow, guys. We've been doing these on off days, if you didn't know. We also have the DNVR Nuggets podcast. So if you ever miss one of these, they get uploaded as a podcast. So if you want to listen while you're driving into work, or if you got a long road or commute, pull it up on your phone. You can listen to it right there through your speakers. You got that as well. But tomorrow we'll be live 1 o'clock with a very special guest. It'll be a lot of fun. Anybody else want to get us out of here?
A little disappointed. No appearance tonight from Justin Bieber Peaches.
Oh man.
From who?
our favorite song.
I'm not in on this joke.
Oh yeah,
clearly.
he's been at the arena.
Clearly not in on this.
Hey, to everyone that came out to the bar, to those of you, whether you traveled from near or far.
Oh,
everyone
some
that
people
hung
traveled
out in the
from
chat,
far.
And we see you. We appreciate you. We love you. How about that?
do
Go
love you.
Nuggets. Let's
Go Nuggets. Thanks everybody.